Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you are doing well. It's been a long time since I haven't had the energy or the motivation to film anything. Let me just adjust my camera. Today, I want to talk about self love with you guys. I don't know where you have reached in your journey of self love or whether you really understand the concept of self love. I must admit that for my own part, I have never thought that self love is actually one of the most important things for you in order to be able to navigate through life. Unfortunately, we don't learn about self love or self care or the importance of self care and self love in high school or at the university. This is something which I guess you learn by in the school of life itself. And I would say that in the past, I used to be very loving to myself. At least I thought that I had reached that level of self love where nothing would break me. But unfortunately, very recently in my life, I have faced some circumstances and events which have almost totally broken down my self esteem. And I have come to the realization that loving yourself is very, very, very difficult when all that you can see or all that you think people can see are your faults and your weaknesses and your imperfections. Let us face it, in the world, in the real world, there are people who are going to remind you of the things which you lack, of your shortcomings. Even if you have people who are always complimenting you, validating you, and telling you that you are very beautiful or intelligent or smart, whatever, then human mind or I myself, I have a tendency to focus on the negative comments or criticism that people throw at me. Yeah, so even at 28 years old, I think I still have a lot to learn. I never thought that it would be so difficult for someone to face rejection over and over again and still continue to love yourself or to believe that you have something to offer. Speaking of which, I'm not sure if I will be able to talk about this topic in a way that will be diplomatic and objective and professional. you know I'm talking about the concept of marriage and arranged marriages. I don't know, for those watching, whether you have experienced arranged marriage or you know what it is about. In the modern context, it is mostly a proposal where two people get to meet each other and get to know each other for the basis of getting married. It's not something which is done out of force, but it is like a Facebook suggestion. And for my own part, I haven't had a very positive experience with it. I'm not saying that arranged marriage is bad. It's not bad. It works for some people. But again, I think it depends on why you are trying to get married. What is your definition of marriage? Are you getting married just because you feel like you need to have kids and have a partner and be settled down at a certain age because that's what other people are doing or that's what society expects of you? Or for you, is marriage more like a spontaneous kind of decision where you feel, where you are so attracted or happy with the person that the natural step for you is to spend your lives together? For me, I would never want to get married by force or because everyone is doing it or mechanically. There must be a minimum of that excitement, that happiness, and that genuine respect and admiration and attraction for the other party. It should be mutual. It shouldn't be like, everyone expects me to get married, so I should get married. So all of that, the arranged marriages, the proposals that didn't work, the rejection, it hurts a lot. you know you might not People might tell you that don't take it personally. It doesn't mean that you're bad. But for me, my mind tells me that, I must be lacking something. That's why people are rejecting me over and over again. I'm not ashamed to talk about it because it is something that many people go through. Rejection, I don't have the monopoly over rejection. Even guys, good guys, get rejected a lot. I agree that I'm not perfect and I'm not to the liking of everyone. That's not the problem. But I do feel like, from the very beginning, I should have walked away from such situations. I don't know why I kept trying, thinking and hoping that maybe this time it will be right. But naturally, my intuition always tells me that it doesn't feel right, it's not for me, and that's not going to happen the way I'm expecting it to happen. Maybe marriage is not meant for me. Maybe I should learn to love myself without leaning on any man first. Maybe it is something that is not appropriate for me right now. I do believe that the universe loves me and that the universe wants what is best for me. I do believe in love. I do believe in nice men. I do believe that I have a lot to offer and that I am worthy of love. Just like you are worthy of love, I am worthy of love, but I am not being able to love myself currently. Forget about the guys not loving me or not wanting to get married to me. I need to fall in love with myself. I would say on a positive note, what gives me a little bit of hope and makes me find life beautiful is the fact that no matter how many times you get rejected, no matter what horrible things people say to you or do to you, no matter what kind of toxic message you might have received from people around you about yourself, I know that there are times when you just feel like absolute shit, you feel worthless, you feel like no one can love you, you feel disgusted with yourself. But trust me, God loves you and He has created you because He believes in you. And also, there will be people around you who will always adore you no matter how imperfect you are. And just spending time with such people, in my case, when I spend time with my students, with the kids, the energy is so contagious and you can't just help but fall in love with life and yourself again. Believe me, the aim of God was never for perfection. The aim of this whole life thing was never about perfection. We all are flawed in one way or the other. So do not beat yourself up, do not curse yourself, do not attract more negative energy, or do not beat yourself up again because someone has rejected you. Even if 100 people reject you over and over again, it doesn't say anything about you truly. You will never be to the liking of some people, no matter how perfect you become. And no matter how imperfect you are, there will be people who will always love you for who you are. So that is my message for myself and for anyone who is struggling out there, who right now you just feel like you're in this dark place and that you find it hard to love yourself. It's absolutely normal to find it hard to love yourself. There are many people, maybe on social media, their lives seem to be perfect, but they don't have any love for themselves. Don't be fooled by what you see. So for me, perhaps the most exciting thing amidst all this heartbreaking, depressing, tragic news of getting rejected is the fact that I am about to embark on a very beautiful journey of self-discovery and self-love. So now it will be about me. It will not be about any guy trying to impress any guy. It will just be me dating myself, going to the cinema, going to eat, going to read, learning new things, and just hanging out with myself and, of course, my friends who love me very, very much. And yeah, that will be all for me. Thanks for having visited my channel and looking forward to catching up with you all very soon. Take care of yourself and feel free to drop me a comment if you wish.